Hello everyone, hope you're having the most wonderful day today. Welcome to the Film Insight channel. For today's video, we're going to cover more bars featured on Bar Rescue and reveal how they're doing now. So, sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get right into the content, guys. Joltin' Joe's Gas Lamp. For a Season 7 episode, Jon Taffer and his team head over to Joltin' Joe's in the Gas Lamp quarter of San Diego. Owned by Phil Paccione, he purchased the bar back in 2004, remodeling it into a billiard club / sports bar / event center. Across the span of several years, Paccione was doing exceptionally well, making hundreds of thousands in profit. However, once the owner was revealed that he had cancer, he hired a general manager named Sean Kisner to keep things running. Thankfully, Paccione was able to recover and return, but was only met with tension due to Kisner's picky demands. He would be very controlling of the business and staff operations, which made things difficult to say the very least. On top of this, their food is horribly inconsistent and their bar fell into disrepair, resulting in a loss of customers. Currently speaking, they're in a deep pool of debt of over $1.2 million and are losing close to $10,000 a month. Desperately needing the guidance of a professional before everything collapses, Paccione calls out to Taffer for some aid. Upon his arrival with mixologist Alex Good and chef Vic Vegas, he gives them the rundown of the situation. Soon after, the Bar Rescue host sends in 2 local radio celebrities to order a Mai Tai and a Bloody Mary, hoping to get a better look at the service quality. Predictably, the Mai Tai tastes awfully sour and the Bloody Mary is described to taste like a hot dog. Nasty. Ordering some food which also comes back tasting horrible, Kisner is so clueless about the issues and is just playing pool. Having seen more than enough, Taffer storms into the bar and blows up on the general manager for serving substandard food and drinks. Responding that it's the chef's fault, Taffer calls out the cook to talk and he just points his finger back at Kisner for micromanaging the kitchen. The following day, Taffer holds a staff meeting and learns that everyone agrees the food and drinks are disgusting. They also point out that Paccione has never set any standards, which is why Kisner had the opportunity to let things go. Both experts train the staff on how to make easy but delicious food and drinks to set the bar's standards a little higher. Performing a stress test later on, the customers seem to love the drinks but complain about the undercooked food. After settling a financial agreement between the 2 business partners, Taffer was finally ready to start making renovations. First changing the name to the Gas Lamp Social, he also revamped the bar's aesthetic, making it more vibrant and decorating it with digital elements. Taffer added in brand new pool tables, better POS systems, a phone charging station, and an ice machine. Eventually relaunching, the patrons seemed ecstatic with the improved meals and cocktails, and the staff did fantastic with keeping up with orders. Post-Bar Rescue, Paccione decided to step back and allow Kisner to manage the bar, but things are actually doing very well. Reviews on Yelp and TripAdvisor are mostly positive with people praising the food, drinks, and service. We're glad this rescue pulled through. Pepe's Mexican Restaurant and Cantina. In another episode of the 7th season, Jon Taffer pays a visit to Pepe's Mexican Restaurant and Cantina in Canyon Lake, California. The bar is over 50 years old but is now owned by Victor and Laura De Minero, who purchased it several years ago. Once being an extremely popular hangout spot, they left their employees to run it thinking it would continue being successful. However, this was far from the truth since there's only been a decline in the number of their customers. Additionally, the food quality has gone into the trash, with the kitchen staff relying on the microwave for most of the meals they make. Nowadays, the owners just lock themselves in their office and don't even try to interact with the staff nor the customers. Losing close to $6,000 a month, they've amassed a humongous debt of over $2 million, which is absolutely ridiculous. To make matters worse, the staff is so overwhelmed with the stress that it's putting their health at risk. Not knowing what else to do, the owners give Taffer and his team a call, hoping that he can rescue them from this rut. Upon his eventual arrival to the bar with chef Jason Santos and mixologist Alex Good, they notice that the surrounding area is pretty wealthy. They hit the jackpot in terms of location, although the main issue is their sign out front, which doesn't clearly state the business's nature. It becomes clear as they watch through the CCTV cameras that their biggest issue without a doubt is waste. Taffer notices that the bartenders overpour and spill beer all over the place, reducing the bar's profits without any effort. Additionally, they seem to take down the customers' names but manage to still mess up with the orders, which resulted in them giving away 2 meals for free. Later heading into the bar, Taffer confronts both Victor and Lauren in their office about the issues he just witnessed. The following day, the Bar Rescue host holds a staff meeting and they reveal that they're unhappy with the fact that the owners distance themselves rather than be present in the bar. Soon after, the entire staff is sent into training with the experts who teach them about the very basics. Attempting a stress test, Taffer was impressed to see that the owners put themselves in the thick of things rather than hide away in their office. Although things got really rough since everything was being sent out late and to the wrong people, so Taffer was forced to shut things down. Following a lot more training, they were finally able to move into the final phase, being the renovations. Renaming the place to Par Bar to attract the local golfing community, Taffer redecorated the place to be golf themed. What's more, he added a new draft beer system that would ensure drinks were ice cold, replaced their cooling system, and gave them a bartender and TPT subscription. Finally, this time around, the relaunch went smoothly and drinks as well as food were being sent out at a steady pace. Contrasting how things were before Taffer left, no more drinks were being wasted and patrons finally seemed happy. Post Bar Rescue, Par Bar sales shot up and the owners got so much more involved with the business. In this instance, Victor and Laura decided it would be best to revert the name back to Pepe's after Taffer left. Reviews online seemed to be pretty positive, with most praising the food but others complaining about getting the wrong order. While yes, they're still up and running, due to the recent restrictions they've been offering just takeout. At least they're still open. Bungalow Bar. Jon Taffer heads over to the failing Bungalow Bar in Far Rockaway, New York in a season 3 episode. Having been open for 30 years, the bar was initially run by a man named Dan Tuberty, but it was later taken over by his son Dee and Terrence in 2008. In order to help with running the bar, they brought in their other relatives Sean and Martin, as well as a childhood friend named Ryan. Considering the fact that there are so many owners and most of them want to say in how the bar is run, there's way too much arguing. Surprisingly, the bar's selling point was its atmosphere, getting close to $100,000 in a week in its heyday, but things drastically changed when the bar was affected by Hurricane Sandy. Spending over $250,000 in repairs and $60,000 in rent and utilities across 6 months, they've lost more than $350,000 in revenue. Forced to remain closed due to the damages caused by the hurricane, they needed to reopen by Memorial Day or they'd be in deep trouble. With no other options left, the owners call out to Taffer and his team, hoping to get his professional guidance. Arriving with construction expert Sal Farrow, they scout around the area to bear witness to the damages caused by the hurricane. Taffer and Farrow watch some footage soon after of the owners arguing in the construction site, then go meet with them. Not only are the renovations needed extensive, they don't have a dock out front, a walk-in fridge, nor do they have any working draft beer systems. The ones they did have were underwater for several days and were beginning to rot and rust, being completely unusable. Recovering some of the bar's cups, Taffer points out that it's necessary for them to retain their signature cups. For the first night, the bar rescue host helps remove the damaged equipment and deep cleans the kitchen. Fast forward to the following day, the owners spend some time under chef Nick Liberato and mixologist Elaine Duff and Peter O'Connor to polish up their skills. Following this, Taffer plans to hold a stress test at an external venue in Manhattan called Ponte's. Generally speaking, their service time was rather slow and some meals were sent back for reheating. Admittedly, this was expected since the staff hadn't been in action for several months, so they were a bit rusty. Getting very close to the relaunch, the experts revealed the new menu, which would include 3 new cocktails and made improvements on their fish tacos. Finally ready to make some magic happen, Taffer started by making a simple change to the name, calling it Bungalow Bar and Restaurant. Rebuilding the bar back up, it was given a nautical theme and tons of new equipment, better lighting, and a POS system. Months after Taffer and his team left, their reported sales went up by 20%, which is incredibly fantastic. They're doing very well to this day and will continue to do so as long as they aren't hit by another hurricane. Well, that'll be all for today's video here on the channel. I do hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to drop a massive like down below and comment your thoughts. Subscribe for more content like this and turn on those sweet bell notifications for instant access to our content. Have a good one, guys.